Ah, hello, hello, buenos dias. So, what we have here, it's November the 3rd, and I'm doing a little bit of a correction because I did a full reading, a galactic signature plus face reading and a face split on Mark Attwood a while back, which is on YouTube, and it's on Mark's channel, but it's also on my Telegram channel. And so I'm going to do a little bit of a correction because I put the wrong pictures together in the wrong order. So when I was on the call with Mark, I kind of brushed over it because I couldn't quite. I'd just gotten home from 2 weeks on the road and I'd done the PowerPoint pretty fast. So I just realized while I was on the call with him that I had put two of the original faces onto the comparison. So I brought Kelly in, Kelly Love, which is a professional face reader. She's a master practitioner of psychosomatic therapy and has been with me as a student and also a teacher to me of many things in life. And for what, 3 years, 4 years now, I think it's almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years. Next year will be 4 years.
So anyone that's watching this, I wanted to bring Kelly in and introduce you to her, and she's going to give me her feedback on Mark's face also. So Kelly, if you just want to introduce yourself and where you live and how you feel about this work and what work you do.
Thank you. Well, thanks for having me. So I'm Kelly Love, and my brand is called Rewilding. And I use psychosomatic therapy, body language to guide people into rewilding back into the pure essence of their soul's expression. And what I love about body language is it's a language of love. It's a direct communication from our source, from our soul about what it's like living our human experience. So when we want to understand truth, the easiest way to do it is to go within. And that's what I've discovered with body language reading. So I use this in every single session I do because it is the roadmap to discovering why you are the way you are and also how to become what your soul came here to be.
Yeah, to fulfill their mission. So
Yeah.
especially I think at this time and just coming off the Truth Tour too, doing many cities for myself. Uh, I mean, the main theme was come home, come back to yourself,
Mhm. Yeah.
trust yourself, trust your intuition, and a beautiful way of doing that, which I'm calling, everyone calls it the Great Awakening. I'm calling it the Great Alignment and
Mm.
aligning yourself right from Mother Earth, her Kundalini, her life force, to the light source, and we become a conduit between those energies and stand in full power. We are sovereign when we declare we're sovereign. It doesn't take the paperwork, it just takes us coming back and uh, living our own truth and loving the skin we're in, loving the equipment we were given, and just to enhance it and to allow that light to shine through our body. So, Kelly, you're a true expert at this, so it's great having you. And yeah, now we got to do a reading for Mark. So I
And
have,
one little caveat I want to add, I read bodies and faces. I'm a
yeah,
professional entire body reader.
yeah. Well, and you do a lot of trauma work too, especially
Yeah.
sexual relationship trauma. Definitely the most important relationship is with yourself.
Mhm.
And then you can, and how another relationship outside of us reflects or mirrors us, right? And you're a white
Mhm.
mirror, aren't you? A white mirror in your galactic
Yes, I
signature.
am. Yep, that's my third dimension.
Yes, yeah, who you are now or who you're becoming. I thought you had in your fifth also, or was that Freya?
Fifth was the wind, white
Okay,
wind.
the high priestess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, you ready for this, Kelly? I'm just gonna
I'm
share my
ready.
screen, and
Let's do it. I've never met Mark, by the way. I've never watched anything, never met him. So this is a cold read.
which is the best kind, right?
Yeah.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get it a little bigger. Zoom, zoom in. Oh, not zooming very great. Guess if I take that off, there we go. Okay, so in the when I was doing Mark's reading, I had two of the original pictures on this side, on his left side. So yeah, and you got to realize Mark had been on the road for what, I think 36 days, and it just landed back in Ireland the day before. So I can tell he's very tired. And I think, what did he put on? 9,000 miles or 12,000
Oh
miles?
my gosh.
Yeah, they drove all the way from Sacramento all the way around to Tampa, Florida, like up over to Minneapolis, 17 cities in
Wow.
31 days, and then back, looped down from, I joined in Tampa, and then we did Arkansas, Texas, Arizona, and then California. And that was enough for me. I can't imagine that
I
doing
can't imagine doing the whole tour.
12 more of those cities and sleeping on the road, and yeah, so eating in restaurants. So anyways, so the original picture, just to get people to understand what we've done, this is the original picture that Mark took of himself. It was a selfie, and he sent it to me from Ireland. And then I have an app that splits the face, so you can do it manually. I used to do a lot manually. I've done thousands of these. And what it does is cuts the face in half and puts two right sides together and two left sides together. So yeah, so what we do in a face reading is, so what we're actually doing is comparing uh, the right brain function and the left brain function, because it crosses over. So the right side of our body is left brain function. Am I doing this right? Left? I can't even see it. And then crosses over our left side of the body is our right brain function. So, which is the right side is the masculine side. It is the yang left brain, our analytical side. It's our outer world, or our personality, who we've become in this world, and how it shows. And then the left side of the body is the right brain function. It's the yin, the feminine side. It's our creative side. It's our inner world, and it's our soul side. So that's giving just a very brief outline of what the two functions are. Most people live in their left brain function because that's what we learn in school. Uh, Not so much our creative side. They basically took arts and science, I mean, arts and music uh, and creative thinking out of the school system. They really keep us in our analytical side, basically memorize what they want us to learn, and then tape
Mhm.
it up on it to a piece of paper. So, which is science and mathematics, analytical stuff. So,
As well, they're stunting our full maturity and growth because they're forcing us to use the part of our brain, our neocortex, where thinking and reasoning and logic are, and it's not fully formed, while we dissociate from the more primal part of our brain, which is actually supposed to be the most active part of our brain,
yeah,
up to like 25, 27.
and that's part of rewilding, right, Kelly? I mean, to use
Exactly.
our creative, our expressive side, or do we stay in the robotic side? And
Mhm.
so, yeah, that's all what rewilding is to express more of our creative, feminine energy, which is the wild side, which is the dark
Right.
side, right? It is our dark side. It's our shadow side. It's our inner world. Is close your eyes and it's dark inside. So that's what people are scared of, the dark. But it's about embracing that aspect and see the light. You are the light through uh, the dark side of who we are. Our creative side, and allowing that to flow through us. So, what are you seeing here in his overall? What we do is first in face reading is overall face shape. So what are we seeing here, Kelly?
I see a combination face shape of rectangular and oval. It's more oval up here and more oval down here, and a little bit more straight on the sides.
Up and down, yeah.
Yeah, straight up and down. So he's got a lot of energy. He's got a lot of big ideas, high ideals, lots of energy to support that. He can be flexible. He's probably flexible in his thinking because he's got that curved forehead.
Hmm.
And if you knock him down, he gets up again, right? Because
Yeah.
he's got that curved chin.
Yeah, he aspires to higher things in life. That's why he's higher than he is wide. And uh, the roundness in his forehead, he doesn't, my way or the highway. It's more like he cares about other people's points of view. And then in the way he interacts with people physically, is that he's sensitive in how he interacts with other people, yet you can't knock him down. Like you roll over, stand up, roll over like an egg. Where if you're, an inverted triangle, which he's not, he's still got the strong chin, then
Mm-hmm.
he might topple over, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's makes
Also, you can think about with the curved forehead how it's flexible, right? It bends instead of being rigid and straightforward and like this is the ceiling. It's like, maybe there's other possibilities, right?
yeah. So he can go back and forth. Yet his zones of the face, he's got a huge forehead.
Yeah.
So very high intelligence and a broad point of view. And we did wax him, by the way.
Oh, okay.
He had a
I'm curious
little bit.
if his hair came in more like towards his temples because it looks like he's got a little bit of wasting right there, like coming in a little bit like this.
Yeah, he did. It was more indented in the temples, and indented in the temples meaning he internalizes a lot of his thoughts versus expressing. And by waxing out the self doubt, he will start to express himself a lot more, even though he is very expressive. But there's more to come. There's more to be expressed as he fills this out. And we have a lot of times people's indentation in the temples will fill itself out. I've seen, some people are really indented and that can fill itself out. He's got slight. So,
Yeah, his is not. His isn't that pronounced. The thing I do, a couple of prominent things that are jumping out at me. I mean, first of all, like this brow bone, he's got a lot of concentration. So
yeah.
he's a very observant person. You can also see like this line. It's pretty defined in the middle. It's sort of slanted, but it's also quite defined. So he's probably a very self-driven person. Maybe he hasn't felt fully supported in that, but he's definitely a self-driven person. Like he's going to get some shit done.
Yeah. Yeah. He's, well, we call it almost dogmatic. It does bring in the left and right brain together in a single focused point of view, like he can zero in. Uh, it's a little harder to see if it looks like it is the middle brow, where a lot of people will have one on either side and can have the middle one. Some people
Mhm.
just have the middle one. Or, yeah, so,
I mean, it looks like he's got a curved one on the left side too.
yeah,
So there's something about not feeling supported in his feminine expression. So when we're looking at eyes and eyebrows, they're pretty closely linked together. Like eyes are the heart chakra, brows are the throat chakra. So we can look at his eyelids and we see they're really heavy. They're so heavy, they're coming down. It's like affecting his vision, it's affecting his ability to see. And so when we see energy coming down, we see, oh, somebody is like weighed down with their thoughts and their emotions or not expressing a lot. And what happens when we're stuffing it all inside and we're not expressing it, it creates internal confusion and it affects our ability to see the bigger picture. This is
yeah,
why the eyes start coming down. So his body is asking for more expression. Even though Carole says he is expressive, people need to understand that this is your soul speaking. He may be expressive, but his soul's like he's got a lot more. He needs to share a lot more.
yeah. Well, what I often say too is it's about saying bright idea, right? Lift your
Yeah.
eyebrows, and he's focused in. And I think he, well, no, very understanding Mark, because spending a lot of time with him, is he might not take as much credit for what he's doing in
Mm.
his own expression. I mean, he's got amazing poetry, absolutely amazing.
Wow.
But there's more to come from the heart, because a lot of it can be, I mean, a lot of his poetry is about the outer world too and what's going on in the world. So there's, I think, more to come, really, what's in his heart. And he's
Mhm.
not as protected in his heart chakra in the left here, but his right is very protective and in the eyelids. And from waxing him, often these eyelids will start to lift.
Mm.
So he's zeroing in, if you want to call it. He's looking very serious here.
Yeah, he's honing in on something.
Yeah. So yeah,
Another, go
go ahead.
ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say another thing that I'm noticing is his lips. They're really small.
Yeah, and a lot of this stuff is coming from a very young age. So, as we change and express ourselves, lips can become fuller, especially if we, you know, put consciousness goes, energy flows, and the more we speak up, what's inside of us, the lips start to fill up a lot more, fill in a lot more. So,
Like I'm even noticing like when I go like this to my face, my mouth is like way on the outside of my nose. His mouth is about as wide as his nose.
yeah.
So he's like really putting his personality out there, but he's again, this is just continuing with a theme of being underexpressed, maybe more tight-lipped about things. Like maybe there was a history of being more tight-lipped, or maybe he's got just so much that he's not sure what to share.
Well, it's British, right? Stiff upper lip, right? Uh, and I think it's only in the last few years that he's really come out of that shell. He was in marketing
Oh,
before, and yeah,
okay.
there's a lot to come. So let's go back to his nose.
Yeah.
Um, so the nose is the solar plexus, and he's got a fairly wide nose, right? So he's got the strength to stand up for his ego or his identity, his power center, and he's got a strong base, put it that way. It's not narrowed, it's strong. And we can't see his nostrils, but they could be a little loose with money, when the bigger the nostrils.
Mm-hmm.
And yet he's got a soft tip on the end of his nose, which tells me he's very loyal and very honest by nature. If it was pointed and sharp, it's a different feeling. So um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but it does narrow in the bridge here, right?
Yeah, and it looks like he has a lump on his nose too. I mean, he may have broken his nose at some point, but it definitely looks like there's some sort of lump right there.
It can be a cut line, like sometimes when we are focused in, it almost, and then we kind of like this, then it,
Mm,
it can
yeah.
create that cut. And here again, it puts our heart behind us. They kind of cut off what they're feeling in their heart and how they express it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so I mean, ears, he is a little bit, this ear is a little bit further back than this. It's pretty right on the face shape itself, but it could be children were to be seen, not heard, a little bit in the household. You get your ears pinned back. Um, yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
coming from the ears. And because we can't see everything, of course, in real life or in a Zoom call, you can see so much. You can ask people to turn their head and see different dimensions of it. So we do these face splits before and after our courses, so our trainings. So it'll be interesting because Mark is going on a healing journey, and of course, he'll be way more relaxed. And as he learns to express himself, he also has a lot of small homework from me, like keeping his feet straight. And because I've waxed him, he started his journey already through psychosomatics and really in tuned with his body language. and being able to express himself a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think there's going to be a huge shift in him, in his face, even,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so coming after his retreat in Morocco. So what I see is on the left side here is very balanced, quite balanced, and I feel he has not fully expressed himself through his personality or allowed the outer world to see uh, all of him that's inside of him and the beauty of who he is. And it's almost like the picture does it itself. He's got a ray on top of him. And he actually is a yellow sun. He's the enlightened one in
Mm.
his galactic signature, and in his higher self, he's a yellow seed. And his fourth dimension uh, was the white dog, so the compassionate one.
Very loyal.
Yeah, and he's learning to have more compassion for himself. And I think that's where he will really start to bring this soul side truly to shine through this side,
Mm-hmm.
through his personality. Because I think we spend many years putting ourselves down, or uh, it's more even in mass consciousness. Don't be too proud of who you are, or even joking around. Oh, that's nothing. I don't want to be too prideful. And I'm saying, hey, be proud of that little 4-year old inside. Stand with
Right.
pride and dignity. And we need to express that parts of ourselves, because
Absolutely.
that is about loving ourselves, is to be proud of who we are. And I see it so much in his soul side, but it's not coming through all of his personality. And I can tell his outer world, he is exhausted in his outer world from,
Yeah.
yeah,
You can see it with the energy coming down, especially in the
drainage.
eye area.
Yeah, the
It's like
drainage.
he's just given so much of his heart out there. He's just put so much out there.
Yeah.
And when we see this, this is like an invitation from the body to redirect some of that energy to ourselves to make sure that we are filling ourselves up and giving from our abundance instead of sucking ourselves dry.
Yeah, giving, giving, giving in the outer world, right? So coming home and loving this person, loving the skin we're in. So we just come back and we're going to do a little bit. He's got a strong chin, so he can have a good foundation, because this is the base chakra, the chin and the jawbone. The lips are the sacral chakra. The nose is the solar plex. The eyes are the heart chakra, and the eyebrows are the throat, and then the brow chakra, and then the crown. He's so the beard itself too, it balances out when you have a beard like that and full around his creativity. We do suggest people keep it clean in around the lips, maybe snip it a bit, show your lips a little bit more to allow the creativity to come out.
Mhm.
And but with so much energy in his forehead, it's like a tether to a hot air balloon. So the beard actually grounds people when they have so much energy. So, yeah, the only thing is I suggest is keeping it clean on the lips, always showing your lips. A lot of people will allow the hair to grow over their lips. And yeah, and we can't really see the color of his eyes. I can't quite remember. They look almost like a sapphire blue or something.
Yeah, they do look pretty blue.
Yeah. Now it depends on the filter of his camera or the
Yeah.
lighting. So, I mean, the lips, blue eyes mean a compassionate way of thinking. Brown eyes is a compassionate way of feeling, and green eyes is courage and curiosity. Which one? Which other eyes is there?
Hazel.
Hazel is a warm intellect. And depending on the color of blue, you can have icy blue, cool and calculating, all the way up to Caribbean blue. So very warm, and same as the brown can be. Warm brown eyes is like a Jersey cow, lots of warm feelings about something, all the way to black eyes is very passionate, like an Italian lover. and with very little compassion. So it just depends. And I just want to add that because people are really interested in face reading.
Yeah.
So Kelly, that's about all. We just want to make that correction, a quick, really short video, and we'll connect with Mark when he comes back, and maybe we can do a comparison with him on the call. That would even be
Yeah. I just want to point out one more thing. I see his ears are mostly like, so we have 3 zones on our face: mental, emotional, physical. So his ears are starting in the emotional zone and going up to the mental zone. So he's really listening to his thoughts.
his brilliant mind. Yeah. See,
Mhm.
when it's underneath the nostril,
The-
and we draw a line across, his are quite far above his, so it's not so much listening. I can't remember if his earlobes were attached or not. So yeah, these are all little things, and giving you also our audience here a touch of what face reading is about, and how we can learn to change things within ourselves as we understand ourselves and bring more symmetrical inside the face as we use our body in our body language or our mechanics of the body properly. It brings the face. Brings our face more into alignment because our body is a biofeedback machine, and it does bring it shows in the fleshing out of the bone structure. So
If anyone is curious to see faces shift and what it means, I did do a case study on myself where I took the face splits from Carole's class and I analyzed all my changes that I was going through. And you can see it manifest on my face shifting from, I think, November to March. So just 4 months, there was a lot of shifting.
was that from practitioners to masters or something like that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Kelly. Where can people get a hold of you, and what do you have to offer them? If there's anything you want to share with people.
Yeah. Do you want to make it a full screen and this, like the share screen?
Oh, do you have something?
No, I just thought it might be nice if we see our full
Oh,
faces. Say
stop
goodbye.
share. Stop share. There we go. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, thank you, Carole. Yeah, so if you are interested in a face reading, a body reading, a discover you session, like maybe you have one area in your life you want to dissect. I also do a 2-month coaching program. You can get a hold of me. My website is kellyloverewilding.com. And my email is kellyloverewilding@pm.me. I also have a pretty soon online group coaching program coming up. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be going deep.
Yeah, and Kelly and we are setting up some sort of some online. I don't know what you want to call it. Soulful. We do Soulful Sundays, but we might change the title and do a different day. But we have a lot of information to share with people, and like free information, if you want to call it, just sharing and really getting people into their power because that's part of our mission. And Kelly lives in Nicaragua, right?
Right next door to Costa Rica.
Yeah, and I live in Costa Rica, and Kelly does, as we start our trainings next year, in the beginning of next year, stay tuned. And Kelly will be coming to Costa Rica and assisting in a lot of the trainings. Depends what she can make. So, yeah, so it's going to be lots of fun. And yeah, we're here to empower people. So, I'm also going to quickly share, I'm going to share my screen again
All
because
right.
I do have just the last slide is just if you are coming to this late, you haven't downloaded my free ebook. It's called Your Body Never Lies. It's about 30 pages, right, Kelly? You've been through it. It's got a lot of information uh, about feet points and face shapes and body shapes, what it means emotionally, and how you can change things. So that's a free download. I suggest that for anyone just to get going, just to get started on it. And my Telegram channel is the Lightworkers Institute. My YouTube is Carole Maureen Friesen, and we will be doing a lot on YouTube and transferring it over to Rumble. I'm not putting up my Rumble channel yet. It is there. It's just once we start, we're going to start clean. On YouTube, there is about 108 videos on there already. And
Wow.
yeah, our work never changes. A lot of those are testimonials, Kelly. All my
Oh,
testimonials have gone up on there. But there's a lot about face reading and body stuff I've done maybe 7, 8 years ago. But the beauty of our work, Kelly, is it never changes. It's
it's
not like
timeless.
it's timeless because the body is timeless. And it would that's the wonderful thing about it. If it was all just new, like news, right? I don't even want to watch something from a month ago, but I go back 7 years on my stuff and I'm still learning stuff, even from myself 7 years ago, reminders. So that's great information. And I say there's a lot of videos, go back. I think even Herman's on a lot of them. I've got some of the class recordings in there. So, yeah, interesting stuff. And then the retreat center here in Costa Rica, Heaven and Earth Sanctuary.com, if you want to take a peek at what we have at the sanctuary here.
It's so beautiful there. I'm so excited to come back.
Yeah, well, you'll be back soon. I think the end of this month or something. So,
Yeah, hopefully this month or next.
yeah, so that's what we've got. Hopefully, Mark enjoys this and we'll get this out to people. And yeah, so thanks, Kelly, for your time. I know you have to get on another call. You have an appointment in 10 minutes. We
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. And so look up Kelly if you're interested in a private session. I don't do privates anymore. I only do teaching. So Kelly's your lady. So
Yes. Call
much,
me up.
yeah, much love. Mwah.
Mwah.